Hey guys, it's Wanda from Crazy Days. I'm in my canning room, my canning storage room. This is not where I can. This is where I'm storing stuff, and I've been adding things today, and I'm going to show you later in a week or so on Deep South what my canning storage room looks like. But I wanted to show you a sale. I got a good deal at Walmart, and I bought my roses. I'm going to show you those too. Hang on. While we were in Walmart, we saw this. They had one left, just one on the counter, and mine is 15 to 18 years old. We have more gaskets for it and things like that. But Danny said, you said we might need to purchase a second one. I think it was 78 bucks, guys. Isn't that a deal? 78. So now I have two canners, extra gaskets, things like that. We're good to go. The same gasket fits both. I'm ready to can. All right, I promised I'd show you the roses. This is what I've got a start of. I have a method to my madness, I hope. I already have a white rose. So I'm going to be moving it, and I want the white and the red together, possibly in the center of the bed, is what I'm thinking. Then I love these type where they're all mixed. And I bought a solid and another solid to go on each side of it. And then here I bought this mix and a solid to go on each side of it. I'm hoping my rose garden will look beautiful once I'm done. So what do you think of the colors? I want blue. I want a few more colors, but this is a very good start. So guys, my rose garden has started. Let's see where we put it and how we arrange it and what it's going to look like. It's going to be a work in progress, and over the years I hope to add more to it. But hey, 7 to start with, and I already have one, so that's 8. I'm off to a good start on the rose garden. One thing about the roses, I was looking for fragrant roses. Out of 7, I have fragrant, 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 fragrant. I have 6 of the 7. The only one that wasn't is the kind of pinkish purple color, and I think that's pretty awesome. And we're going to talk about roses and the purpose for roses in a rose garden and on a homestead. Roses are wonderful to have on a homestead, and when you asked why, of course beauty, of course, the fragrance, of course, but what else? Roses are very helpful. They have a lot of health benefits. So, back in the day, they were used as an astringent, a regenerative, or wound healing. Really good to have on there. The vitamin C is excellent. One thing for external use was they used enemas against diarrhea, injections against discharges, and they gargled for sore throat. They treated skin wounds, eye drops for in your eyes, even read where they made hot packs out of the rose water and put them over eyes. Helps with aging and wrinkles. You know, you ladies looking for that something something. I have rose oil from doTERRA. Very expensive, but it smells wonderful, and you can use it on your eyes for wrinkles and things like that. But people use it for their heart. They use it for everything. It's wonderful. The emotional prospect of it. Rose essential oil is very effective against anxiety and stress and overwork, exaggerated emotions, and temporary depression. Like I said, rose oil has many, many benefits. So it's good to have rose oil on hand, but just having the roses, what can we do with them? The rose petals, you can use a third of a cup of rose petals in a quart of boiling water. You boil it down to make tonics that you can drink in between meals and things like that. It's a rose tea. Simple as that. A rose syrup, where you use 1.5 ounces of rose petals to 2 quarts of boiling water, and you add 35 ounces of sugar. You make it into a light syrup, and hey, you got rose syrup. What can you do with it? Hey, you can use it on anything you want. It would be awesome to have a rose syrup. So another thing, Danny and I do not put anything on our homestead that would be detrimental to our homestead. It has to have purpose. And roses has a purpose. One, it's going to make me smile. To smell roses is just awesome. To see those rose buds and then bloom out, it's beautiful. But two, the rose hips, vitamin C. Got to have that vitamin C. It's another way to have it. You use rose hips with a whole lot of things. You can make a tea, of course, but look them up. They have a lot of benefits. Rose petals are edible. You can add them to your salads. You can make teas out of them. They're used for congestion and sore throats and, you know, different things like I told you, stomach issues and stuff. Rose water on the skin is really helpful for your facials and just cleansing and things like that. In the 17th century, roses were so admired and stuff and thought to have so many benefits that the kings and queens allowed them to be used as money. They traded with roses. Isn't that awesome? So there's all kinds of history with roses. I had an old cookbook. I had a friend send it to me, and I kept reading all these directions on how to make something, and almost every one of them had rose water in it. And I thought, what in the world? I've never heard of anybody cooking with rose water. Is that some special something? So I went and looked it up, and this was a couple of years ago, and they used to take the rose petals and make a rose water, they called it. And they put it in cakes. They baked with it a lot. It was in just about any dish they did. And I thought, that's pretty cool. So that was another reason when I mentioned the rose garden is not just for beauty. It's not just for fragrance. It is there for multiple purposes. On our homestead, when we put something on the homestead, we want to know it has health benefits, whether we eat it or we can use it with our animals or whatever. We need to know that it is helpful for our homestead. So roses, y'all look them up. Y'all would be so amazed at the history of roses, of the history, the health benefits, the history of the health benefits. Doctors used to even write a prescription for rose water. Did you know that? That is just amazing to me, things we've lost in our history. And soon I'm going to be showing you where I'm going to put the roses, how to take care of them, and all that. There's a bunch of information out there on taking care of roses. And right now I've got them sitting in a 5-gallon bucket with some water. It said to put them in there for 12 hours and let them absorb, the roots get some moisture in them. And Danny and I are going to be planting. So I'm going to take you along, show you where we planted them, give you a little more information about the care of roses. And this is the time to get them, guys. Bare roots right now need to be planted in the next few weeks. At least in zone 8. I'm not sure where you're at, but in the springtime. Look for them in the spring. Get roses, get them on your homestead, and have them for your own health benefits, just to have. And look up the benefits of it. So be looking for roses for your homestead. In the spring is when you plant them, the bare roots. If they're in pots, you can plant them throughout the summer, but the bare roots need to be planted in the spring. The spring, if you already have roses, is the time to trim them back and get them ready to just bust out and just start producing roses. I'm excited. This is something I've always loved. I've always had a lot of roses wherever I've lived, and this year I'm bringing it back. I bought one last year. I have an older one that is a rootstock that doesn't have a scent. Neither one of them that I have scents, and I wanted the fragrance. So I'm excited. Y'all stick with me. Find out where the rose garden's going and what we're going to be doing with it. And thank you guys for the ladies that helped me get started with my rose garden. Thank you from Crazy Days.